Hi everybody, it's Gina. I'm back in the kitchen. I'm cooking today, and today's recipe is for a Christmas time savory something, a savory bite, so to speak. I know a lot of times people get overwhelmed right at the holidays. There's cookies, there's pies, there's cakes, there's cupcakes, there's fudge, there's divinity, there's all that stuff. And you get overloaded on the sweets, and sometimes you're like, I just want something a little bit different. So today we're making sausage balls. I've got one of these 2-pound rolls of sausage. And no, I'm not being sponsored by the company or anything, It just happened to be the brand that I could pick up in that size instead of having to buy 2 of the smaller ones. So, although I do like me some Jimmy Dean sausage, I will say that. They won't sponsor me, I'm all for it. So, we've got the sausage. We've also got shredded cheddar cheese. I've got sharp. Not everybody is going to like sharp cheddar. If you don't, you can use mild, you can use medium, you can use extra sharp. Whatever it is that your particular family likes is what you use. Now, some people like hot sausage. This is mild. Like just regular run-of-the-mill sausage that, the majority of people are going to have around. And if you like hot sausage, I like hot anything. I'm spicy. Attitude, demeanor, all that. I am a spicy person. So, I would probably prefer to use hot sausage and extra sharp. However, we got what we got. Also, this is most of it, like an 8-ounce block of shredded cheddar. I'm just going to add all of it in there. And I do not have this quick right now at my house. I do have a video out of me making biscuits, though. And I use in mine just plain, regular, run-of-the-mill self-rising flour. I got what I got. I would probably prefer the kind that's not been bleached and all that, but such as it is, I've got what I've got. Now, this is 2 pounds of sausage, so you're probably going to need a couple of cups of the self-rising flour, roundabout. I also have some milk sitting out over here in case it needs any. Sometimes after you work with this a minute, it seems a little dry. Just add a little milk. And that will oftentimes help that be a little bit more biscuit-like. This is also really good if you got kids heading out for school in the morning and that kind of stuff, and you're trying to get some breakfast into their bellies before they head out for school, because they're going to be hungry come about 9 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, wish I'd had some breakfast and stuff. And I know a lot of times the little kids, they might get a snack break, but the big kids, not so much. So these are always good. And, if your kids don't start school till later in the morning or whatever, I know up here our high schoolers start about 7:10 in the morning, and the little kids, I guess, go about 8 or 8:30. It's not super duper early. But, you could certainly put this in an insulated lunchbox for the kids, and it would keep in there just fine. You can eat them cold. I do it all the time when I make them. I don't necessarily always heat mine up. So, they have some, it's already cooked. So if they eat them cold, it ain't the end of the world. It's just cold cooked sausage balls. So right now, mine is starting to look about like that. I need to get this flour worked in really well. I know some of y'all are going to be gross. She put her hands down in there and that raw meat. That's what you got soap and hot water for. You just use those. I am one of them old redneck girls that this stuff doesn't really scare me or anything. I know some people are bad about not wanting to touch raw meat. I'm germophobic about certain things, and other things like this, it don't bug me. Not one bit. And stuff. So, again, I have hot water, and I have antibacterial soap and that kind of stuff that I will use on my hands to kill the germs. And I did wash them good before I got over here messing in this. Like I said, Southern staple. Okay, so I've got everything incorporated into the sausage mixture. This is what it looks like when it's all incorporated. I'm going to start rolling these into balls. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees, and it is completely preheated over there. I just checked. And basically, how big you make them is depending on how big you want them to be. And some people will use a cookie scoop or whatever. And you don't have to get into this at all with your hands. It just doesn't bother me to do it. But sitting here making it this year, it reminds me a lot, it's Christmas time, about my dad and one of my dear friends who both loved some good old home cooking. My dad's been gone for almost 8 years now, and my dear friend passed away earlier this year. She passed away in June. And every time I'd get to making sausage balls or get to making some chicken livers or gizzards or something like that that's totally a Southern dish, I made sure I'd take her some every now and again. I don't really do gizzards much, but every now and again I'd cook them for her. I will do chicken livers. I prefer those to, gizzards or feet or whatever. People, I guess it's just the way I grew up. My daddy loved him some chicken livers too. And my friend did. And, I'm originally not from the area that I live in. I'm very Southern, if you can't tell. And my friend was from Texas. So, we grew up eating a lot of the similar style foods. She considered me to be one of her kids. And technically she was old enough to be my mom. And, I'm missing her here at Christmas time. And, But I know one thing. My dad's gone and my friend's gone, but I know one thing. I know where they are. Y'all have heard me say before, I believe in God. And I know that my dad and my friend both believed in the good Lord. And I know that they are in heaven and they are waiting there for me. So, as we celebrate Christmas time, I know that I have got some people up there waiting for me. And no matter what, it ain't about, you can have every Christmas present in the darn world, but if you ain't got the Christmas present, which is Jesus, you ain't got much. Whether you do Santa for your kids or you don't do Santa for your kids, or, none of that's relative. Now, like I said, I'm not pushing my religion on anyone. If you don't want to believe in God, that is your choice. But I do. So, I've got to have something to get me through this lifetime. And I've been trying a little harder this year, especially since I know my friend died this year, so I'm like, I've got to try a little harder here and stuff. But you know, we're getting some sausage balls rolled out, and that's just how we're going to roll this year. And my friend, she was bad diabetic, so she died too young, much too young. I mean, nowadays 60 ain't that old, you know, but she was real severe diabetic, and she had all of her toes, and she had one leg gone up to the knee that had to amputate. She's had MRSA. She had bone infections and bad diabetes, and that ain't a good mix. And she was like most of us that grew up down south. You know, a lot of us grew up and we ended up smoking and stuff. I used to. I sure did. I used to smoke. I don't anymore. And I hadn't in a long time, and I don't intend to start back anytime soon. You know, I mean, life ain't perfect. But, you know, I think some of that's cultural. We grow tobacco down there, and cigarettes are cheap, and they keep you from getting stressed. And that's like nature's anti-anxiety medicine for most of us when we were young stuff. But you know, life happens. But I'm gonna pop these in the oven. Still got a few left here. I'll have to do a second batch. I'll be back in just a few minutes when these are out of the oven. All right, we have got the first batch out of the oven, and this is what they look like done. So, they're really good. I mean, like I said, I just use self-rising flour. That's what I had. If you've got biscuit, you can certainly use that. If you get a bit much of your dry stuff like your biscuit or flour, add a little milk in. This is a good southern recipe. Also, in the description box, I will put up a link to my Amazon list for Christmas. I also sent it out to my family. So do not feel as if you ever have to buy or purchase anything to watch my videos. That is not the goal of that. It is just to share it in case you want to send anything. But again, do not feel obligated. Please take care of your family first. And today I'm going to leave you with a verse out of the Bible. In Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall rest upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. And if I don't get anything else, and I hope to before Christmas, but if I don't, I wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year. Thanks for watching my videos. See y'all later. Bye-bye.